ज्ञानी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवारी पस्कट्यारे सचारिणे जया जया गौरा चंदे आरती को शोभा कि बजया जया गौरा चंदे आरती को शोभा जानवी तातवने जगमन लोभा जानवी तातवने जगमन लोभा कि बदखिने निटाचन बमे गरधारा कि बदखिने निटाचन बमे गरधारा निकटे अद्वैत श्रीनि वसा छत्रधारा निकटे अद्वैत श्रीनि वसा छत्रधारा कि बबसे अच्छे गौरा चार रत्न सिंहासने कि बबसे अच्छे गौरा चार रत्न सिंहासने आरती करे न ब्रह्मा आदि देवगणे आरती करे न ब्रह्मा आदि देवगणे Samaradulaya Kibanara Hari Hari Kore Samaradulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Gashaya Digaya Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Gashaya Digaya Kipasangka Baje Khanta Baje Baje Karatala Kipasangka Baje Khanta Baje Baje Karatala Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala Madhur 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 Baje Shanka Baje Khanta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Shanka Baje Khanta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Madhura 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 Baje Madhura 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 Baje Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujjwala Ki Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujjwala Kala re Shevana Mala Kore Chala Mala Shiva Sukana Radha Premigara Gada Kiba Shiva Sukana Radha Premigada Gada Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gaurara Sampada Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gaurara Sampada Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Ko Shobha Janavita Tavane Jagamana Labha Jaga Jana Mana Labha Gaurange Arati Shobha Jagajana Mana Labha Gaurange Arati Shobha Jagajana Mana Labha Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavari Paskatyare Sacharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Swami Jaya Jagannath. Jai Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Swami Jaya Jagannath. Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jai Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jai Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Swami Jaya Jagannath. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Nitai Gaurasundar Jaya Nitai Gaurasundar Nitai Gaurasundar Jaya Nitai Gaurasundar. Jaya Nitai Gaurasundar Jaya Gaura Nitai Nitai Gaurasundar Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्टाचार्य अष्टोदक श्रीमद श्री अभय चरणारविंद ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय हो. जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्टाचार्य अष्टोदक श्रीमद श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज परम गुरु प्रभुपाद जी की जय हो. नामाचार्य श्री लहरिदास ठाकुर की जय हो. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय हो. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय हो. जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की जय हो. गंगा माई की जय हो. यमुना माई की जय हो. तुलसी महारानी की जय हो. वृंदावन मथुरा द्वारकापुरी धाम की जय हो. श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माता जी की जय हो. नीलाचल क्षेत्र धाम की जय हो. श्री श्री राधा माधव जी की जय हो. निताई गौर सुंदर भगवान की जय हो. गिरिराज गोवर्धन नाथ की जय हो. इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय हो. All glory to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glory to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glory to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glory, all glory, all glory. Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadadahine. Hiranyakashi Vakshaha. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Hito Narsimha Bharato Narsimha. Yato yato yami tato Narsimha. Vahe Narsimha Vridaye Narsimha. Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade. Kavakara Kamalavare Nakha Adbhuta Shimha. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanurendra Keshavadeta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev, Narsimhadev, Jaya Narsimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nitai Gaura Hariba, 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 Nitai Gaura Hariba. Nitai Gaura Hariba, Hariba. Nrsimha Mahadev ki, Jai Prahlad Maharaj ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So welcome all to ISKCON Baltimore, the order of Nitai Gaur Sundar, Giri Govardhan, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai, and the most beautiful Shri Radha Madhav. First, I'd like to thank you, the pujaris, for dressing deities so beautifully. Loud Haribol for them, please. Today's prasadam will be cooked by Siddhu Prabhu Pancha Prabhu. So, Haribol. Also, today we have one sponsor. As you all know, our dear devotee, Harinam Prabhu and Mataji have moved to Alachua. So they sponsored the feast today. We'll miss them entirely, but hoping that Jagannath will show their mercy, they can come back to us because they're very beloved to us, all of us actually, for that one. So loud Haribol for both of all family. Hare Krishna. This coming week, August 1st, we have a Rath Yatra. This is the 6th Rath Yatra for or the 50-year Jagannath. And we are requesting devotees, if they know somebody in Frederick, please connect with them, tell them to come for the Rath Yatra. The details will send on the WhatsApp group. So you can do that. This will also help them connect with our farm also, because we always need some volunteers. We're doing a lot of gardening there right now. We're doing a lot of marigolds are going through. I think Nava Prabhu and Sankirtan Prabhu is doing single-handedly. But we need a lot of help because we're growing now vegetables also. So things are looking really good for the Lord's pleasure. So if you know somebody, they can be connecting there. We'll have booth there also, and they can talk to us about the Bhakti Eco Farm for that. And I think very soon, Shyam Prabhu will be going on travel to Kansas City, Texas, all the stuff. So look for cows. We are hoping that our devotees who have an interview with the immigration in September first week, once they get the interview, then we will get the cows, and we'll have a nice inauguration September for that one. So I think today is a special day. Sri Prabhupada will be speaking. But before that, we had an amazing program. We'd like to thank you all the volunteers and all the participants of the 5-year, 50 years Jagannath Festival. It was a one of a kind. I think we all are just really remembering that beautiful time. The Kirtan, the dressing, everything was so phenomenal. And next year we'll be celebrating, the decoration team we prepared. They worked so hard. Next year we're celebrating our temple's 10-year anniversary and Radha Madhav's 10-year anniversary. Haribol. So today's class will be spoken by our dear Sri Prabhupada. We say Prabhupada Vacha. And we can watch on the screen. There'll be subheadings also. If you can understand, then that's fine. Otherwise, you can subheadings. And then after that, we'll be requesting devotees to have any realization or any questions at all. We'll require a panel of people. Premdam Prabhu, Sundaran Prabhu will be there. Myself will help guide anything. Anyone coming for the first time here? Hare Krishna. What's your name? Alisha. Alisha. Loud Haribol for Alisha, please. And what's your name? Crystal. Crystal. Haribol. Hare Krishna. Please, you have any questions? We have, I think Mataji is here. Shyam Bhakti Mataji is here. She's here. I think she must have gone out. Please, you'll be helped to answer any questions for you. Thank you so much. Welcome. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we can start. So just for the newcomers, today's lecture will be on the screen. It will be given by His Divine Sri Prabhupada when he came in 1960s. We're just celebrating 60 years of ISKCON the next week. So when he came in New York, when he was speaking this lecture actually, so very, very powerful, potent lectures. And we have, I think, explanation underneath. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask us. Thank you so much.
following is a class on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text number 26, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on the 18th of April, 1973 in Los Angeles.
Sri Gurun Vaishnava. So, these are the disqualifications. Material opulence, these things, janma, to take birth in very aristocratic family or nation, just like you American boys and girls, you are born of rich father, mother, nation. So this is, in one sense, it is God's grace. That is also to take birth in nice family or in nice nation, to become opulent, very rich, to become advanced in knowledge, education, everything material, and beauty. These are the gifts of pious activities. Otherwise, why a poor man, he does not attract anyone's attention, but a rich man attracts. Educated man attracts the attention. A fool rascal does not attract attention. So, similarly in beauty, in opulence, these things are materially very beneficial. Janmai sajja sutta. But when a person is materially opulent in this way, he becomes intoxicated. I am the rich man, I am educated man, I have got money, become intoxicated. Therefore, we advise, because they are already intoxicated by this position. And again intoxication. Then by nature, these people are already intoxicated. Intoxicated in this sense, just like if you drink wine, you become intoxicated. You are flying in the sky, you are thinking like that. You have gone to the heaven, yes. So, these are the effects of intoxication. But the intoxicated person does not know that this intoxication will be finished. It is within the time limit. It is not going to continue. That is called illusion. One is intoxication. I am very rich. I am very educated. I am very beautiful. I am born in high family, in high nation. That's all right. But this intoxication, how long it will exist? Suppose you are American, you are rich, you are beautiful, you are advanced in knowledge, and you can be proud and become American. But how long this intoxication will exist? As soon as this body is finished, everything is finished. All intoxicated. Just like same thing, you drink something, become intoxicated, but as soon as that intoxication is over, all your intoxicated dreams are over, finished. So this intoxication, if you remain in intoxication, hover in the sky and mental platform, these are mental platform, egoistic platform, bodily platform, But you are not this body, not this gross body and this subtle body. This gross body is made of earth, water, air, fire, sky, and the subtle body is made of mind, intelligence and ego. But you do not belong to these 8 elements, aparayam, in the Bhagavad Gita. This is inferior energy of God. Even one is very mentally advanced, he does not know that he is under the influence of inferior energy. He does not know. That is intoxication. Just like intoxicated person does not know in what condition he is. So, this opulent position is intoxication. And if you increase your intoxication, the modern civilization is that we are already intoxicated and increase the intoxication. We have to become out of the intoxication situation. But the modern civilization is increasing, that you become more intoxicated and go to hell. This is the position of the modern civilization. So, Kunti says that this intoxication position, mada, edumana, mada, increasing, puman, such person, noivarhati, they cannot feelingly address Jaya Radha Madhava. They cannot feelingly. That's not possible. They are feeling, spiritual feeling is lost. They cannot feelingly address because they do not know. This God is for poor man. They cannot have sufficient food. Let them go to the church and ask, oh God, give us our daily bread. Oh, we have got enough bread. Why shall I go to church? This is their opinion. Therefore, nowadays, in the days of economic development, nobody is interested going to the church or temple. I know what this nonsense. Why shall I go to the church for asking bread? We shall develop economic condition and there will be sufficient supply of bread. That's like communist country, they do so. The communist country, they make propaganda in the villages. They ask the people to go to the church and ask for bread. The innocent people, they ask as usual, oh God, give us our daily bread. Then when they come out of the church, these communist people ask, have you got bread? They say, no sir. All right, ask us. And then they ask, oh communist friend, give me bread. And the communist friend has taken a truckload of bread. Take as much as you like. Take. So who is better? We are better or your God is better? They say, no sir, you are better. Because they have no intelligence. They do not inquire that you rascal, where from you have brought this bread? Have you manufactured in your factory? Can you manufacture grains, the ingredients of bread in your factory? Because they have no intelligence. Shudra. They are called Shudra. Shudra means those who have no intelligence. They take it as it is. But one who is Brahmana, one who is advanced in intelligence, he will inquire immediately, you rascal, where from you brought this bread? And that is the question of the Brahmana. You cannot manufacture bread. You have simply transformed God's grain. The grain is, the weight is given by God, and you have simply transformed. By transforming something from something, that does not become your property. Just like I give some carpenter some wood, some implement and salary, and he makes a very nice, beautiful closet. To whom this closet will belong? To the carpenter or to the man who has supplied the ingredients? To whom it will begin? The carpenter cannot say that because I have transformed this wood into such nice closet, it is mine. No, it is not yours. Similarly, who is supplying the ingredient, rascal? That is Krishna. Krishna says, Bhumi rapana lavayu kangamano buddhira. Prakriti me astadha. This is my property. You have not created this sea, the land, the sky, the fire, the air. It is not your creation. You can transform these material things, tejo bharimid vinimayam, by mixing and transforming. You take earth from the land, you take water from the sea, and mix it and put it in the fire. It becomes a brick, and then you pile up all this brick and make a skyscraper building. But where from you got this ingredient, rascal, that you are claiming this skyscraper yours? This is intelligent question. You have stolen the property of God, and you are claiming that it is your property. This is knowledge. This is knowledge. So, those who are intoxicated, they cannot understand. They think, it is my property. I have stolen this land of America from the Red Indians. Now it is my property. But he does not know that he is a thief. He is a thief. Tena eva sauchyate in the Bhagavad Gita. One who takes the property of God and claims his own, he is a thief. Stena eva sauchyate. Therefore, we have got communistic idea. A devotee, Krishna conscious person. We have got Krishna conscious communistic program. What is that? That everything belongs to God. Just like they are thinking that everything belongs to the state. These communists, these Muscovites, or the Russian or the Chinese, they are thinking state-wise. But we are thinking not state-wise. We are thinking God-wise. Everything belongs to God. The same philosophy you extend, simply you require little intelligence. Little intelligence. Why do you think that this state belongs to a few number of people? If you think that there are population, American population, this land of America belongs to this population. Why do you think like that? You think this is a property of God. So, every living entity is a child of God. God is the Supreme Father. And Krishna says, Ahanga bija padapita. I am the seed-giving Father of all living entities. Sarvajonishu kaunteya. In whichever form they may live. They are all living entities, they are my sons. Actually, that is the fact. We are living entities. We are sons of God. But we have forgotten. Therefore, we are fighting. Just like in a nice family, if anyone knows, father is supplying us food, so we brothers, why should we fight? Similarly, if we become God conscious, if we become Krishna conscious, this fighting will be over. I am American, I am Indian, I am Russian, I am Chinese. These are nonsense things will be over. Krishna consciousness movement is so nice. As soon as people become Krishna conscious, these fighting, these political fighting, national fighting will be over immediately. Because they will come to real consciousness that everything belongs to God. And as the children, a child of the family has got right to take advantages from the father, similarly, if everyone is part and parcel of God, if everyone is child of God, then everyone has got the right to use the property of the father. So, that right is not that the right belongs to the human being. According to Bhagavad Gita, this right belongs to all living entities. Never mind whether it is living being or animal or trees or birds or beasts or insect. That is Krishna consciousness. We do not think in terms of that simply my brother is good, I am good, and all bad. This kind of narrow, crippled consciousness we hate, we kick out. We think, Pandita Samadarshina. In the Bhagavad Gita you'll find, Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmani Gavi Hastini Sunichita Sapakecha. Pandita Samadarshina. One is Pandit, one is learned. He sees every living entity on the equal footing. Therefore, a Vaishnava is so compassionate. Lokanang hitakarino. They can actually do the beneficial work to the human being. They are saying, actually feeling that all these living entities, they are part and parcel of God. Somewhere or other, they have fallen in the contact of this material world, and according to different karma, they have assumed different types of bodies. So Pandita, those who are learned, they have no discrimination. That this is animal, this will be sent to the slaughterhouse, and this is man, he will eat it. No. Actually, Krishna conscious person, he is kind to everyone. Why the animal should be slaughtered? Therefore our philosophy is no meat eating. No meat eating. You cannot. So they will not hear us. What is nonsense? This is our food. Why shall I not eat? Because Redomana Mada is intoxicated rascal. He will not hear the real fact. Just like in this state, because a man is lying street, poor man, has no help. Can I kill him? Will the state excuse me? No, I have killed one poor man. He had no necessity. There was no need for him in the society. So why should he live? Will the state excuse me that you have done very nice work? No. That poor man is also the subject of the citizen of the state. You cannot kill him. Why not expand this philosophy? That the poor animal, or the trees, the birds, beasts, they are also sons of God. You cannot kill. You will be responsible. You will be hanged. Just like by killing one poor man on the street, you will be hanged. Never mind, it is poor. Similarly, in God's eyes, there is no such discrimination. What to speak of God? Even a learned man's vision, there is no such discrimination. This is poor, this is rich, this is black, this is white, this is... No. Everyone is living entity, part and parcel of God. Therefore, Vaishnava is the only benefactor for all the living entities. They try to elevate. A Vaishnava tries to elevate all living entities to the platform of Krishna consciousness. Lokanang hitokarino. Just like Rupa Goswami. Lokanang hitokarino. Tribhuvane manno saranya karo A Vaishnava has no such view that this is Indian, this is American, this is... somebody questioned me somewhere that why you have come to America. Why not? I shall come. It is, I am servant of God and this is kingdom of God. Why shall I not come? It is artificial to check me. If you check me, then you will commit sinful activities. Just like government servant, police has got right to enter anyone's house. There is no trespass. Similarly, a God servant has got the right to go anywhere. Nobody can check. If he checks, then he will be punished. Because everything belongs to God. So in this way, we have to see things as they are. That is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not a crippled idea. Therefore, Kunti says, Janmai sajja sutta sivi idhumana madapuman. Those who are increasing intoxication. Such person cannot become Krishna conscious. Such person cannot become Krishna conscious. Idhumana, mada, because they are intoxicated. Just like an intoxicated person, he is fully intoxicated and talking nonsense. If somebody says, my dear brother, you are talking nonsense, here is father, here is mother, who cares for it? He is intoxicated. Similarly, all these rascals, intoxicated rascals, if you say, here is God, they cannot understand, because intoxicated. Therefore, Kunti says, Tam akinchana gocharam. So, it is a good qualification when one becomes freed from these intoxicants. Janma Isajja Suti. Good birth, good opulence, good education, good beauty. They can be used. When the same person becomes Krishna conscious, just like you American boys and girls are doing, you are intoxicated, but when the intoxication is over, you are doing better service, Krishna consciousness. Just like when you go to India, they are surprised how these American boys and girls have become so mad after God. Because that teaches them that you rascal, you learn because you imitate from the Western countries. Now see, here the Western country boys and girls are dancing in Krishna consciousness. Now you imitate. That was my policy. So it is being practified now.
Sure.
Yeah. So everything can be utilized. Good parentage. If you remain intoxicated, do not utilize it, then it is not very good asset. But you can utilize it for good purpose. If you utilize the asset for Krishna's purpose, it will be better position. The same example, just like zero. Zero has no value. But as soon as you put 1 before 0, it becomes 10 immediately.
Sure.
Immediately 10. Another 0, 100. Another 0, 1,000. Similarly, these Janma Isajja Sutta Sri, so long you remain intoxicated with it, it is all 0. But as soon as you put Krishna, it becomes 10, 100, 1,000, millions. Yeah. That is the opportunity. So you have got this opportunity. You American boys and girls, you have got this opportunity. You have got zeros. Put Krishna, you become 10. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Sundaran Prabhu and Premdam Prabhu, please come here. So These devotees have, we'll get some summary of the lecture Prabhupada is giving, but anybody has any questions listening Prabhupada's lecture? So basically, a few things which I want to mention. Prabhupada mentioned this very famous verse, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.26. It says that this was spoken on the battlefield of Kurukshetra when Lord Krishna was going back to Dwarka and Queen Kunti was standing there. And since she was saying these prayers, profoundly overwhelmed with grief that she'll be separated from Krishna. For the newbies, Queen Kunti, and she had 5 kids. They went through so much turbulations in life, even though Krishna was next to them. But every time there was turbulation, like they were being burnt alive also, but Krishna saved them. So they said that, the most important part for us, Krishna, was not that we were suffering just because God was there. The most important part was every time we're suffering, you came and protected us and we remembered you all the time. So please give us this blessing that give us more grief that we always remember you, because if we remember you, we'll never die. We'll always remember that. So that was the prayer of Kunti Mani. She was the most exalted queen in terms of spiritual sense actually. Despite losing her husband in like early age, 20s, 30s, she became such Krishna consciousness. So she says this prayer. It says that Jan Ashwarya Shrut Shribi, as Prabhupada said. Jan Ashwarya. Jan means birth. Ashwarya means opulence. You have millions of dollars like the opulence. Shrut Shribi, education, beauty. All these are great if you utilize Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, what happens that those people who are continue using them for their personal sense gratification, you cannot pronounce the name of Lord because this makes you artificially proud and you can remember the Lord. So Prabhupada is mentioning in this beautiful lecture, few things he is saying. One thing Prabhupada is saying is material assets are not the problem. The pride behind them is that. Very important point. We can have material assets, should not be problem as long as you're utilizing for Krishna. They are all gifts of Krishna. We should be thankful. Some person is very rich, like a devotee is rich. As long as his mentality is that, this is Krishna's money, I'll utilize Krishna's service, Krishna's festivals, spreading this, then that's good. But if you said, this is my money, all the problems I can save by using the money, buying car, all the stuff there, what happens? After some times, you'll have the vehicles and you say, I have more money, I can control that. That's what billionaires do actually for that one. So that is a problem, that when you get pride behind that, then you suffer for that one. So the next one, Prabhupada in this verse is that Krishna is Akinchan Gocharan. Akinchan means material. Akinchan means those who are materially exhausted. That means one who is materially exhausted, what he is a poor man. He has no assets. So who does it depend on? He depends on state. That will supply food stamps, everything else there. Similarly, when a devotee, despite having all the opulences, when he says, Lord, this is not my money, this is not my, everything is yours, then you become dependent on Krishna. Then Krishna says, yes, this person's all opulences are my own, basically, for that one. And the third one Prabhupada said in this one directly is that real humility is what attracts Krishna. You can have money, but if you get pride, Eda mana mada purman, Eda mana. Mana means pride, and mada means intoxicated with pride. When you're intoxicated, you don't have humility, you cannot chant Krishna's name in full feelings. You can only have feelings when you have nothing in there. For example, if your cell phone sitting there and you're trying to chant and cell phone beeps every time, you see that. So that becomes intoxication. But if you keep a cell phone somewhere else and utilize only for Krishna conscious activities, it becomes an asset for that one. There are a few examples which came to mind. One was a rich man versus a poor devotee. Wealthy businessman says that my money will solve everything. I have money, this problem I can solve. I have disease, my son has cancer, everything solve. I have money, chemotherapy, everything do that. But a poor man immediately depends on Krishna. So even though he could be suffering more, but ultimately when he's leaving this planet, he's suffering much lesser than the wealthy man. Because wealthy man will think about, I'm losing this money, I'm losing this, where will this wealth go? My kids will distribute about other stuff. But poor man will always think about Krishna for that one. So the next point which comes to the mind is, I was writing, Draupadi. Draupadi was Queen Kunti's daughter-in-law. When she was in the whole assembly, when she was being disrobed by the evil people, she was looking for each and every husband. She had 5 husbands. Then her father-in-law, uncles, everybody. But she couldn't stop it. Ultimately, when she was trying to resist it, she couldn't stop the being disrobed. But what happened was, when she realized that there's no example, nothing can happen, she lifted her hand and said, "Oh Krishna, I'm yours, save me." Immediately, what did Krishna do? He became the sari and the cloth and protected her itself. So when she had everything, when she said, "My husbands are so powerful in the world, this world, we are so opulent, save me," nothing could save him. But when she lifted her hand for Krishna, Krishna saved them. And the next example comes for Gajendra in Srimad Bhagavatam, the king. We have Bhagavatam books there also. It tells you, what does it tell you? That when the elephant was fighting the crocodile, and crocodile is dragging for like hundreds of years, thousands of years, he was, as soon as he go in the water, the crocodile's energy was increasing and the elephant was going down. So then when he said, "Nothing can happen," he picked up a lotus and offered to Lord, "Lord, please, this is mine, whatever you wish to do from me." Immediately Lord appeared. So when you think, "I'm king of the elephants, I have everything, I can fight this crocodile," what happened? Krishna didn't come and save him. But when he lifted his hand, he became akinchana. That's the most important. When you give up everything for Krishna, the wealth, opulence, everything, then Krishna becomes your savior for that one. So for us devotees, the application importance are very important. Few points are important is, do I rely on my intelligence or depend on Krishna? People sometimes say, "Oh, our kids should go in college, everything else, they should go Ivy League, all the stuff there." My dear friend, you can try as much as possible, but if your karma doesn't allow it, you cannot go to Ivy League. You can study as much as possible. How is that one person studies all year long and doesn't get the grades, but a person studies for 2 months and gets a grade? You can't call it destiny. Everything is fixed for everyone. It's just a matter of time what happens. So your kid has to go somewhere. Yes, you should educate also, but don't forget Krishna. Make sure Krishna always is in the center for that one. Then the second thing is there, for devotees especially, do I become proud my service? Like I'm on the all-time pujari. Oh, everybody's there. I'm above them. Or you become like I'm wealthy, or I'm giving the most donations here, so I should be respected more than that. If we have this mood, that also is an obstacle for bhakti for that. And the last last question is there. When problems comes, do I pray to Krishna first, or do I pray to my family? Please save me for that one. So in the end, we have to just always remember that. It's a very nice word which came through that if a cup is already full, you can fill it more. So similarly, if our heart is full of pride, we cannot expand more, we can remember Krishna. So we have to get rid of pride to make sure we can make akinchana for that one. So we'll stop right now. Prabhuji, if you have to say something, then we can open the mic for any discussion devotees have questions.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Well, I think this is echoing. We'll open up for questions, Prabhu, because I see a lot of new faces in the crowd, and it can be a bit overwhelming when you hear Prabhupada for the first time. So if there are any questions, any thoughts anybody would like to share. It was clear to everyone. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah, so what my takeaway from the class was that Prabhupada would never mince words when he would come to speaking. For example, he was bringing up the example of the communist. And Prabhupada would never mince words. He was very confident on what he believed in, and he was very proud of, not necessarily proud, but he was very confident that what I'm practicing, I know what it is, and I know how to follow it, and it is the best knowledge available. So Prabhupada would never be afraid of speaking his mind out. So I would always appreciate that attitude, and I always wish that we could also have that. Because whenever we are speaking to others, we are sometimes hesitant about, oh, is this right? Should I speak to about it or not? Because we are sharing a knowledge, Prabhupada is sharing a knowledge that's applicable to everybody, irrespective of, caste, color, as Prabhupada himself was mentioning in the lecture. Your color, skin tone, or where you're born, it doesn't matter. So it's a knowledge that's available for everyone. So that really touches my heart whenever I hear to Prabhupada. So thank you, Prabhu.
Anyone has any more questions or comments? You can raise your hand. I'll bring the mic to you. So Neelabad Prabhu and Premdam Prabhu summarized nicely. I'll add a couple of points that Prabhupada was sharing in the class. One was about how a person who is Krishna conscious, who sees everything in connection with Krishna, then how does he see everybody and everything? So basically when he sees that in connection with Krishna, he sees everything belongs to Krishna. Everything doesn't belong to me. I'm temporarily using Krishna's property right now. So that is one thing he sees. Second thing is, how does he see everyone, every living being, not only other human beings, but animals, everyone like that. So then he sees everyone as brothers and sisters in the eyes of God, because we're all children of one God. So I'm seeing things and seeing people, seeing living beings in relation to Krishna. When we see like that, then we utilize them in Krishna's service, like Nilabhadra Prabhu was describing. So it's not wrong to have material opulence, but we utilize that in Krishna's service. That's the best way we progress in our life towards Krishna's service like that. Similarly, when we when we see everybody, all living beings, as sons of one God, then we're nice to each other, we help each other, and not only human beings, but even animals also. The Prabhupada was describing about no meat eating. So when we are trying to eat meat, that means we're killing other human animals. When we're killing other animals, they are also children of God. So God is pained with that. So when somebody is in consciousness of God like that, then they are very considerate about being compassionate to others, not harm others like that. So that's the other thing I was thinking about. You have some question or comment? Your name also, you can share your name also.
I'm Neeraj Giri. So yeah, I joined like last 15-20 minutes, and thank you for all the explanations. So one quick question I had in my mind, like how can we develop genuine devotion, rather than following simple rituals and all? If you can explain that, it will be great for me.
So, thank you. Neeraj, right? Yeah. A very nice question. This one is an important question. One time, one of the sadhu came to our home. While leaving, this is the instruction he gave me. So he shared, his whole name is Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj, if many of you know. So he knows I'm an Indian body. So he told me, you do one thing. Whatever you do in Krishna consciousness, first understand why you are doing. Then only do it. So that way, when you understand the reason behind why you're doing what you're doing, it will not only continue for a long time, but it will also lead to genuine devotion. So that is the main principle I can think about, number one. Number two, we take the guidance of seniors who already walked on this path, who already developed devotion. So that's called Sadhu Sangha, association of those who are elevated souls, who already walked this path and who already achieved the genuine devotion that you are aspiring for. Like in material example, if I want to run marathon, I look for examples of experienced people who already ran marathon, and among them, experienced person who can train what principles he applied to get me also to marathon like that. Then take their guidance regularly. Then I will also proceed like that. Similarly, to develop genuine devotion, association of person or persons who are already elevated more than us, number one, and then understanding the purpose, why we are doing what you're doing, instead of accepting as a ritual. There's a devotee, his name is Radhashyam Prabhu, shared another tricky word thing, ritual, spiritual. So if you forget the spirit behind spiritual things, then it becomes a ritual. So always understand the spirit behind it, it becomes spiritual. I don't know, any of you would like to add anything? Make sense, Prabhu? Yeah, thank you. Any other comments, questions? Sri Prabhupada made many points. You can share your name also.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My name is Praveen Govindas, and I was passing by. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. So it was the right time to come to the temple. I'm on my way to Washington, D.C. My question is, just yesterday I met a Christian person who does not believe in reincarnation. How do I convince him? And he says that animals don't have soul. So can you throw some light to how to convince such a person who does not believe in reincarnation that animals do have souls? Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your question. So one thought that I have is, one thing is it depends on the intention of the other person who you're talking to. As they say, right, you can wake up a person who's sleeping, but if he's faking to sleep, you can never wake him up. So depends on what the person's approach is. And secondly, reincarnation is no more a philosophical fact. It's a scientifically proven fact. There is a department at the University of Virginia that has documented over 1,000 cases of rebirth. So it's not something that's just in the Bhagavad Gita. It's actually a scientifically proven fact now. So that's another way I generally tell people. And thirdly, when you talk about the animals, right? If you see the way, how do you identify something is living, right? They're born, they grow, they're stable for some time, then they start growing old, and then they die. Animals also follow the same path. Human beings also follow the same path. When human beings, we get hurt, we cry. Animals also cry. Obviously, you cannot cut open an animal and see a soul, but you can very clearly make a alignment with how humans live and behave, and as to how animals live and behave. So those are some thoughts that I have when I talk to some people. But the most important thing is, if they are not ready to be convinced, you can try everything, they'll never be convinced. So you have to be sure you're not wasting your time on such people, to be frank with you. If they're really interested in knowing something, you can spend hours with them. But if they're not, it doesn't matter. You should not even spend a minute with such people. Let Krishna take care of the whole picture then.
Thank you. That was a nice question, Prabhu. So a couple of things. So there are two aspects. Like Prabhu said, I start with something. First, I need to understand properly that knowledge, whatever I'm getting. So I focus on that, number one. Number two, see the other person is interested genuinely or he wants to argue with me. That's the other point Prabhu was saying. So these two are important. So only if the other person is genuinely interested, then we spend time with them to share knowledge. And assuming the other person is interested, then we talk about the two principles Prabhu was sharing. One is about soul, presence of soul. If a table is there, that doesn't have soul. If I am a living being, I have a soul. What is the difference between two? So that principle we explain in terms of I have thinking, feeling and willing, but table doesn't have. But animal has, like that. And then like Prabhu was describing about pain. So I feel pain, animal I can see pain going through. Table I cannot see any pain that table is going through. So that all the examples relate to soul, you share with them to understand what are the symptoms of a soul. Symptoms of soul is consciousness. So when that is there, then it is a soul. So you can see consciousness is elevated in animal. So it can also feel, it can also think like that. How can you say animal is thinking? Somebody may ask question. They can see examples of dogs who have loving nature to their master like that. So like that, first aspect is about soul. Then comes to reincarnation aspect. If they're not even at the soul aspect, reincarnation is useless for them. So once the soul is established, then reincarnation is Prabhu described. There are scientific researches proven how somebody remembers past life. That is one category of research done. That number one. Number two, somebody is very young, 3-4 years age. They're born in India, but they speak some French language. Nobody nearby French is there. Or somebody is born in a poor family, they live in a hut. Or somebody born opposite. Somebody is born in a rich millionaire family, but they know how to make the roof of the hut. That skill, nobody taught them in the young age. These are another set of evidences to confirm they are there in the past life in another body like that. Another set of evidences here like somebody has a birthmarks, and when they did the research, they found out that in the last life they had an injury at the time of death. So that is exactly matching with the records. So like this, the scientific records are there. And even ABC News, there's a video talking about somebody remembers being a pilot in the World War like that. That evidence is there. So we can gather them and keep it ready for us. For sharing with interested people, not to defeat everybody. That's not the intention. Make sense?
So, very nice question, Prabhu. I think the most important part is we have to understand that we are Krishna conscious. We are not Hindu or anything else there. Hindus mean 33 million gods. Prabhupada said Krishna conscious means one God and one follows itself. So that means that Christians, Muslims, we all under one God itself. Except the Christian says Jesus, Son of God, and there's God there, right? And then Muslim says Allah, who is also God. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, I am God. So first you have to bring the compassion in everybody. The person, because of his upbringing, everything else there, they haven't been taught these advanced aspects of that. Until they depend the advanced aspects. So what you tell them, that body is reincarnating every second. What we have right now, next second, the cells will change, some cells will die, they will change again. What you were like 20 years back, you will change again. So body is changing all the time. In body is changing, your soul is moving through itself. That's a reincarnation in a way also. So everything is a change which is there, which is going to happen anyway for that one. And then after that, you talk to him. You talk to him compassion about animals. That just like a cow, just like you pull a son from a mother itself. Like you see so many torture happen. The father or mother cries for that. The cow also, you take the calf of our slaughterhouses. She has tears in the eyes also. It can be tears, or they have tears of like nothing at all. The tears can only happen when your body is producing glands, body has some soul. Otherwise, you cannot tears, just cannot be just medical management, or you have some cells go through that one. So everything is step and balance for that. But most important part is whenever you ask somebody, you ask what's the reason he doesn't believe in that. Because, for example, Jesus, the great, Savior, what did he say? Thou shalt not kill. He's in Jesus Christ itself, he said that. That means you don't kill. He didn't say, thou shalt not murder. Murder is for human beings. Killings for everybody. He says, don't kill anyone. That means don't kill anybody else there. And I talked to so many pastors, everybody else there. They said, yes, Christianity also as the starting was vegetarianism until the great famine happened. And then angel of God came. They said, okay, you can have it there because there is no grains. But then after they didn't change. So if you see that even Christianity, they're different Seventh-day Adventists, completely vegetarian. For that one, if you see they don't serve meat at all. So there's a different gradations of the Christianity also, where they want to get the higher learning, they'll get to higher learning. And then you talk to them, you will see that the pastor, everything else there, and you do the best from your side. And after that, if Krishna willing, he's open to suggestion. He'll get, if Krishna desires him to come advance in bhakti, he'll come through. If it doesn't come bhakti, you just walk your way, he walks your way. But always keep a positive impression on anybody when you leave. That's most important. Thank you so much. So thank you all for coming. We'll have prasadam now. Please come and have downstairs. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.